Hello everybody, my name is Luigi Finger, and this is the official behind the scenes video of The Last Game Season 4 and 5. Why am I putting two seasons together? Because, the two seasons are basically filmed at the same time. So what were the behind the scenes? And I'll cover through as much as I can remember because it's been 15 months now since since I started season 4. Alright, let's go with season 4 first. So back in August 2024, I announced that I was going to a trip in Korea, and at first I was going with my family, and then coincidentally, I had to go with the Taekwondo club. It was fun with all the training and the skiing place and all that. And it was actually the first time I actually learned skiing. Yeah, beforehand I had no experience. So, in the first day I was not good at it, and then on the second day, I managed to ace through it, and then went on the ski course over 20 times or so. And my initial doubts of skiing was some parts of the ski course were they were steep. I thought I'd break an arm when tumbling over it. So that was some fear I had. But then on the second day I overcame it. Yeah. And before I've visited Korea twice beforehand, and even then even then I stayed at Seoul, which is where my grandma's apartment was. And yes, my grandma's apartment's still the same after over 20 years or so. And from what I remembered when I was 5 years old, which is the last time I visited Korea, I think my grandma's apartment, I thought it was meant to be bigger. There was a bed and I thought there was a couch and then the TV on the other side. But then it had been 10 years, so they must have rearranged it. And I also liked how Seoul was very it's a very modern city. As I compare it to Tokyo and all that. It's and and as a history nerd, it surprised me how Korea went through rapid transformation during during the 60s or in the 70s. And that thing fascinated me, how it went through this over 50 years. So originally seasons 4 and 5, they were gonna be one long season. I think there would be standard 13 episodes, but then there'll be I don't know, I think there'll be 30 vlogs if I had season 4 as one long season. And then since there were so many footage going on, and I don't like to extend footage a lot. I don't want it to be too long. Let's say an episode lasts for an hour. No, I don't like doing that. I like to keep it maximum 30 minutes long. So which is why there's so many vlogs scattered throughout season 4. And then midway throughout editing, I decided on which story arc I would end, which is going back to mainland Korea from Jeju Island, and that's where I decided to end season 4, and then season 5 will come shortly after. And then we came to season 5, and that was our last. I think that was the last 9 days of our trip. So since we had our dad coming in, I think we couldn't fit 6 people in our grandma's apartment. I think if you looked yeah, if you look at the episode, you see how small it is. And yeah, it's probably not fit for 6 people. But then, but yeah, that. But yeah, the ground. I think seeing a bit of places like I think especially my grandma's apartment. I think it gave me a bit of memories, but it wasn't like it's not as strong as it was. Yeah, compared to Sydney. Yeah, there's also in season 5 there are like 3 episodes like where me and my family and then some other guys like visit this science museum, and I think I remember recording so long, and I thought to myself, how many episodes can this last? That yeah, and ended up lasting 3 episodes. Is like in 25 and split into like 20 to 25 minutes. Yeah, split. So yeah, split into 3 equal pieces. And by the time, by the time it was time to go home to Perth, it was like 5. I think it was 5. Yes, 5 in the morning in Seoul. I think you could just see that in the season 5 finale. But then, but then it's like 5 in the morning, so cars would cars would still be there despite being 5 in the morning. Then when we checked in the airports, then I think the I think yeah the suitcase limit was I think 25 kilograms. So 25 kilograms. So I don't remember. It's been too long. And then yeah, I think 4 out of 5 suitcases were like too heavy. I think the heaviest one was nearly 30 kilograms. And then we had yeah we I think we begged the airport staff to like bring in our suitcases despite being over 25 kilograms. And then they were like okay, you can pass next time don't bring a heavy suitcase. And then while I was on my way, yo, and then we arrived at Hong Kong. And I think we were there for like I think 3 hours. Yeah, for these 3 hours we were like we were having a bit of lunch, and then we were we were just on our way to Perth. But then it was like I think the flight was 8 or 9 hours. So I just remember sitting there watching us. I was watching 2 movies. So it was yeah, it's just the first Batman movie by Tim Burton, and then Fellowship of the Ring from Lord of the Rings. And then when I watched through Fellowship of the Ring, it felt like the flight was going fast. I felt by the time I finished Fellowship of the Ring, I was like, oh, we're nearly there at Perth. Yeah. And then by the time we arrived at Perth, it was like close to midnight. Yes, it was close to midnight. And I think we arrived home. I think midnight. It was like midnight past 30. And yeah, so yeah, we were back home. I was back home in a month's time. Yeah. Another Another thing I'd like to add in behind the scenes is why Nate did you finish the last game? This is what my siblings have been telling me. So back when I first started the series, I was 13 years old, and I was 13 years old. I was homeschooled. I was in the 8th grade, and for me, school didn't take too much worrying or stress for me at the time. So I thought, can I add 8 seasons by the time I turn 18 years old, which is next year? And then I eventually came to public school in year 10, and yeah, things started to get a bit difficult. I mean we have 5 seasons as of today, but I going through 8 seasons would be a very lengthy process. I'll If I had to make 8 seasons, I'll probably delay it by a lot. Yes, I mean by a lot because like schoolwork and probably casual work. And yeah, if I'm by the time I've got to an eighth season, it will not be until I think 2029 or 2030. Which is by which is if I ever go to like university, I'll probably finish by that time. And season five wasn't viewed that much. I think it got an average of 6 views per episode. I think I think some of them were as low as one or two. So, and then that made me the amount of the lack of views season five had. It made me open my eyes that I was basically milking the series. So if you don't know what milking is, it's like where you produce something over and over again, like how they did with the Mega Man series to the point where they reached Star Force 3, like yeah, started to go extinct basically. So yeah, I was basically milking my own web series The Last Scream to the point where it's like unwatchable or didn't get a large attention. So yeah, that's when I decided, yep, I'm gonna burn off the rest of season five and just end it there for now. And so I did. So I did end it on February 14th. No, Valentine's Day. And no, this has nothing to do with Valentine's Day. I mean, if I ever had to make a sixth season, I don't know, it'd still be far away from me. I choose I choose not either not to do it or do it a few years later. Or put, make those revival seasons like with Fuller House on Netflix. It's just like that. Or like Karate Kid with Cobra Kai. Yeah. By the time I went through editing, like the amount of places I visited to during my time with my family. Yeah, I easily forgot where they were, including where my grandfather's buried. And I know it's in a city called Ichon. It's not no, it's not the city Incheon. It's a very different city. I Yeah, and then sometimes I go through extensive research just to find the places that I've been to with Google Maps. But then Google Maps doesn't work well in South Korea, even like especially when it comes to like navigating. But instead they use Naver Maps instead. And when I went, even like for example, if I went to the science museum, I'll I'll go through like research and like I'll have a close look at the footage to see like where the place is. And yeah, but if I had a if I had a close look on the footage, I don't know. In my memory, I would not. So yeah, that is it for me today. I'll see you guys.